Greetings, my lords and my ladies. Jim Nixon's here again, and tonight we will continue talking about Illusion Battlefield. As I have mentioned in the previous video, it's one of the most fun events in the game where you can demonstrate your battle prowess and alliance teamwork. This time we will dive into the battle itself and will discuss the key elements of the battlefield and several basic strategies that should make your first Illusion battlefield easier. A quick reminder that Battlefield is open 5 minutes before the set time. First of all, we will make a quick summary of the IBL UI. At the top, you can see the battle score overview. Total points accumulated, amount of points your and enemy teams are generating per second, objectives captured, towers, central tower, altars, and time until the battle is over. Winning conditions are either achieving 100,000 points or generating the most amount of points when the time runs out. At the top left corner you can check your battlefield contribution, your total power, amount of troops left, and number of troops you have seriously wounded, and your buffs. Your personal rewards will be based on your contribution, and top-tier rewards will be granted upon achieving 300,000 points. Basically, any action will grant you battlefield contribution, occupying and garrisoning towers, expelling enemies, and wounding enemy troops. To the left, we have Troops Healing window where you can heal your troops and use healing speed-ups. Marches window where you can quickly access your marches to recall them or use speed-ups. And most importantly, Talents window where you can use respective talents that you have picked in a preparation phase. At the bottom right corner, you can access your troops and immortals to rearrange marches, passives, or pick different setups. Finally, at the top right corner we have the most useful tool in the battle, the minimap that shows you the key strategic points and disposition of your allies as well as enemies. Let's have a closer look at it. Both teams start either at the bottom left or top right corners of the field. The location is picked randomly. 4 towers are located at each corner of the battlefield. 2 towers close to the starting locations, we will call them the home or base towers, and 2 towers located far away from the bases, and we will call them contested towers. All 4 towers are open for capture as soon as the battle starts, and each tower will generate 10 points per second when captured. Central tower is obviously located in the center of the map. It is shielded for the first 10 minutes of the battle and will generate 15 points per second when captured. Altars are located on the left and right sides of the map and are used to cover your next relocation if you started within the zone of Altar's influence. If your team controls every single objective on the map, you will be granted a bonus of extra 50 points per second, and you will be able to generate 105 points per second in total. Now that we have covered the UI basics, we can discuss your first steps when you join the battlefield. First of all, you need to locate where your base and as a result base towers are. Next, you should always apply battle buffs, as you can be sure that your enemies will have them up as well, and you don't want to find yourself on the back foot without those buffs. Finally, you need to determine which one of the contested towers is closest to you and make it your priority target, as you want to reduce your initial travel time to a minimum. If you have active commanders who can control the battlefield, you will be either assigned a marker or a group which you should stick to for the duration of the battle. Important notice here: do not waste your time on altars at the beginning of the battle, as they are not worth it at the start. Only move there if your commander told you to, or you have a specific alliance strategy that involves capturing altars from the start. Another mistake that your alliance can make is assigning too many people to capture your base tower. 3 people are more than enough to capture it and defend until reinforcements arrive if enemy decides to make an ambush attack. When you have picked or have been assigned a target, you will need to start your relocation. If you have a set marker with your name, relocate exactly to that marker. If there are no markers for you to follow, be very cautious with your relocation, as you do not want to overlap relocations with your allies. We all make mistakes sometimes, and if you have eventually overlapped with someone, quickly decide who is going to cancel the relocation and cancel it as soon as possible, as you will receive a relocation cooldown. One final touch before you engage the enemy: don't forget to set your main march on auto garrison and auto refill, as sometimes game tends to cancel auto garrison. When you have arrived at your destination and engaged the enemy, you will have 2 primary objectives: destroy enemies' territories and do not let them capture the tower. Do not try to capture the tower while enemies are still around. Just expel their troops and focus on their territories. You should be using your primary march to attack enemy territories and defend yourself, while using secondary marches to expel enemies from the tower, garrison your allies, or join rallies. If you can't break through the enemy's defenses, do not keep sending your troops against them. You will not grind through their defense, and you will end up losing all your troops that way. Either call out for a rally against your target or start one of your own and call out for your allies to join. It is advisable to use at least one main march in a rally, as a bunch of secondary marches might not be enough to break through the defenses. This statement doesn't apply to map objectives, as matches garrison there can't be refilled and will eventually lose their troops. So basically you can just grind through very strong march with your secondary marches. Keep an eye on what is going around you. Assist your allies, pick on weaker targets, try to catch your enemy off guard when you see that they have dispatched their marches. Another important point that I have to mention is that you want to prevent enemies from getting reinforcements. You can do that in 2 ways. First method revolves around blocking enemies' relocations with your own. Basically, you just relocate to the point where enemy relocation is set and cancel it that way. Do not block relocation as soon as it appears, as the enemy will not get a relocation cooldown and will just set a new point. You would rather want them to travel a bit and block it just before they are about to arrive. You can track their caravan by going down the line. In doing so, you will basically eliminate one player from the battle for the duration of their relocation time. Another option is to attack the relocation site. It only works if the site is not far from you and you have at least 3 marches available to attack it. You will have around 20 seconds to destroy the site and will need around 4 marches attacks to destroy it. And one final note: always stick to the objectives. Do not move away from them. Even if you see that the enemy has relocated somewhere far from the tower, either try to block the relocation and cancel yours afterwards, or just ignore them for the time being. They will not be able to make an impact, as it will take a long time for their troops either to reach your territory or your objective, and you will have an advantage of being next to the tower to expel them quickly. Now I will showcase how you can use altars to your advantage. As I have mentioned earlier, if you start your relocation within the area of influence of the altar that is occupied by your alliance, your relocation path and destination will be hidden from the enemy. Although your relocation site will become visible as soon as the caravan arrives and can be attacked. In the video you can see that I have let my allies know that I will be ambushing tower that has the weakest defense by using hidden relocation, and we have managed to capture it successfully. Finally, make use of your talents, but do not spend them blindly. In my case, I have used Resurrection as I was on the verge of being burned to zero. I have recovered my prosperity and troops, and got a 2-minute shield that allowed me to focus on sieging the enemy tower. Meanwhile, my teammates have arrived to support my attack, and we have managed to snatch a tower from the enemy team. We have been heavily outnumbered in the shown battle, but we have definitely put up a fight and had loads of fun. After all, the game should be about having as much fun as possible, so do not stress and just enjoy. I hope you will find this video and tips I have provided useful in your future IBL battles. Keep in mind that this was just basic outline of the battle and generalized approach. There are myriads of strategies out there for you to develop and grasp, but you will need to fight and practice in order to learn them and become better. Do not be afraid of IBL. Take every opportunity to participate and enjoy the thrill of battle with your friends. And I hope to see you in the Infinity Kingdoms. Bye-bye!